LEGO Worlds is an incredible game. It's like having an endless bucket of Legos. You can build a huge castle or a small house in the clouds. Learn how to design and create your own world with me in this tutorial series. Become a master designer/builder. In this series, you'll learn how to design and build many different architectural styles. We'll cover lighting, furnishing, and decorating, interior and exterior spaces. We'll build castles, dungeons, bridges, skyscrapers, and even a spaceship. So get your game ready and follow along. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Designing and Building in LEGO Worlds. I'm Brandon, this is Max. In the last episode, we did some pretty sweet detailing on Main Street in Jurassic World, and in this episode, we are going to build a Raptors research facility. We already have a pretty cool Raptors paddock, but we definitely need a place where we can study the Raptors, we can study their behaviors, we can make sure they're not getting too intelligent, and we can get the park visitors excited to see the Raptors. All right, Max, you ready to get started? Okay, guys, get your game going and follow along, or just sit back, relax, and enjoy some super awesome speed building in LEGO Worlds. So Max is not really sure just yet exactly what he wants this awesome Raptors research facility to look like, or even what the shape should be. So we're going to play around with a few different ideas that we have for the floor plan. And to do that, we're just going to get out our build tool and we're going to start laying out some designs directly on the ground here, and then we'll see which one we like and we'll go with that. We do know that we want it to be connected to the Raptors paddock, and we're going to create some kind of a window here, like an observation area, so you can see what the Raptors are up to and it'll help with the research. Okay, we like this overall shape. This should be big enough for the research facility, and it definitely caps off the corner here nicely of the Raptors paddock. So now let's play with a few different ideas for how we want the wall structure to look. I find one of the best ways to come up with ideas is just to start building with bricks, and if you like it, do it. If you don't do it. So Max is going to try a few different ideas here and we'll pick our favorite and go from there. So we spent a little time and we came up with a design that is super cool that we're going to use as columns for the main part of the walls here. It's basically just slope bricks. Some of them are inverted and some of them are just straight up, and then we just filled in the spaces with just regular bricks on the side. Now we're going to add a cool lighting effect on the interior here, so the lights will be kind of mostly hidden on the inside, but when you're turning to the side of the building like this, you'll see this whole thing lit up on the inside and it should look super cool. So we're going to copy and paste this around the building, and then between these columns we're going to build glass. So that should look really, really cool. All right, Max, let's start copying and pasting. So most of the columns are 16 studs apart from each other, but then the center here is about 12 studs in depth here. So they're evenly spaced, so that looks super nice. Okay, so here's what we decided on for the windows. We're going to use the 2x2x3 slope in the transparent blue color, and then in each level change here, we're going to add in a 2x2 plate in the medium stone gray color. Because if you just kind of plop them on top of each other, you can see the studs and it doesn't look as clean. Plus over here on the underside, you'd see sort of an overhang. So we like the way that looks a little bit better here, and it should add some nice, interesting detail. That looks cool, you guys. Okay, let's go ahead and copy this all the way up the wall, and then we'll copy each window into its separate window frame area. Now we're going to use the paint tool in the phosphorescent white color, and we're going to paint. First we need to change the size down to like 1 brick, and we're going to paint some of these bricks along the inside here so that they put out some light. So first maybe we'll try painting all of them. I think I like seeing the black base here, so maybe we'll start on like this level here, and we'll just paint those. Yeah, we're gonna have to paint them all and then close the build tool so we can see how that looks at night, but that looks pretty cool so far. Okay, let's go ahead and keep working. Oh, you guys, this looks super cool. There's just enough light here to light up the insides a little bit so you can see them better, but it's not like too crazy bright, so yay. And then depending on how you're looking at the building, it definitely looks a little bit different. That looks really sweet. That should help with lighting the interior a little bit as well. We want to get the most out of this beautiful view out here over the water, so we're going to do the same thing to this other side of the research facility. Alright, now that we have these 2 awesome walls here with these beautiful windows with really an incredible view. Not that that's the point, but it's always good to have a nice view. Let's go ahead and go up to the top of the structure here, and we're going to build some bricks across and see how we can connect it to the main Raptor's paddock. The next thing we want to do is work on the main entrance, and that's going to be right over here on this side. Now we're going to want to create an area where you can enter, but also sort of a protective area that just in case, I mean, you never know. This is Jurassic World after all. Just in case a raptor manages to get through into the research area, we don't want them to be able to get out over here. Oh, and look at that. There's one right there. See? That's the problem. We gotta be careful about those kind of things. So we're gonna build the entrance, and we're going to create a little area where we can stop any raptors from escaping into the rest of Jurassic World. Just ignore the raptor over here. Uh-oh. Did he see you, Max? Don't make eye contact. Oh, no. Buddy, we are trying to do something nice for you. We're trying to build a nice research area for you. So you need to be nice to us. Uh-oh. Okay, here, hurry, Max. Oh, whew, that was close. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to play with a few different ideas, and then when we find something we like, we'll be back. So you guys may have already figured this out about me by now, but if you haven't, I love symmetry. And symmetry is when you have the same thing happening on both sides of something for equal balance. Now, asymmetry is cool too, and asymmetry is when you have different things on either side, so you don't have this exact repetition. And that can be cool sometimes too, but I usually prefer symmetry. So I've copy and pasted this exact same column over here to this side of the paddock. The top of it here is blocking the pathway around, but we can figure that out later. I just wanted to make sure that I had the same thing happening on both sides. This is looking pretty cool. There's some really great detail in this column here. So we're going to copy and paste this to fill in this space a little bit, and then we'll figure out where to put our door. You guys, this is looking pretty amazing so far. But this big flat space here is kind of boring, and I really don't like big flat spaces because they're boring. So we're going to add some details to this roof. We're going to use some 1x2 wedges in the medium stone gray color, and we're going to also put some lighting in here so it looks really cool at night. Oh man, you guys, look at this beautiful sunrise through the lab windows here. That is awesome. So before we do too much more on the exterior, let's go ahead and work on the interior because, as we always say, it's much easier to build the inside of the building before you put the roof on. Okay, I know I just said finish the interior before you do the ceiling, but I'm gonna do the ceiling. Because the overall interior is finished and there's plenty of room in here actually, so when we go down into this point of view here, we can probably change and add things pretty easily. So just ignore my rule if you have a giant room, because it doesn't matter as much then. So we're gonna go ahead and fill in the ceiling with these 8x16 bricks, and then we're gonna try to figure out what to do with the tops of these little fins out here. We've created this cool detail here that we can copy and paste throughout these open spaces, and it's going to help light up our windows but also add some interest to the roof. This is looking pretty awesome, especially at night with all these cool glowing effects. The only thing we want to do now is hide the underside of these glowing bricks here, so we're just going to use some plates and cover those up. All right, Max, do you want to see what it looks like from the inside and the outside? Yeah? Okay, let's see. Oh, that's pretty sweet, you guys. That looks like a proper Raptors research facility so far. Let's check out the inside and see how it looks. From Max's point of view, this building is pretty incredible, you guys. There's just enough light up here to show the details in the ceiling, and it looks amazing. Now it's time to add some details to the tops of these thin column thingies. We don't just want to cap them off because we want to kind of leave them open because it looks so cool when you're looking at it from this angle. So we're just going to play around with some bricks here and come up with something we like. The Raptors research facility is looking pretty sweet. You guys, look how cool it looks when you move around like this. Look at the red. How cool is that? Okay, the next thing we want to do is figure out what we can do with this giant plain space up here. So we're going to look at a few different options, and then we're going to do it. We've got a great idea for the roof. We're going to build a giant custom skylight using the sloped bricks on top of the roof here. That way we can delete some of these bricks in the center and we'll get plenty of light during the day, and it'll look really cool from the outside and from the inside. You guys, the skylight turned out so cool, and the rest of the building looks awesome. There's plenty of space to research some raptors. So up here there's a big opening, and we're gonna have to deal with that in the next episode. We were hoping to get this completed in this episode, but as usual, projects are huge and they take a long time. So we're gonna do a little more in this episode, and then we will finish it up in the next episode. Why don't we go ahead and cut a hole here between the Raptors paddock and the research facility. That way we can put some glass in and we can study the raptors. Well, Max, it looks like you have plenty of raptors to study, and they don't seem very happy to see you here in this window. Alright guys, that's all the time we have in this episode. The Raptors research facility is coming along fantastically. It's beautiful, it's huge, it's spacious, and we already have some scientists. Hello! We already have some scientists that are in here checking it out. In the next episode, we'll finish it up. We'll get some science stations built, and we'll add some additional details, and we'll try to get the interior of the Raptors paddock fixed. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more designing and building in LEGO Worlds, then please subscribe to the channel, and we will see you guys next time. Bye bye.